This right here gonna be a cakewalk.
One thing I also will talk about, and this is kind of going back to Rivals, but this is in comparison to Tekken 8. They say ranked updates in Marvel Rivals, increased penalty for players who quit, longer bans from ranked, bigger point reduction, remaining players get points compensation, surrender now require one less than the remaining teammates. If the system issue causes the leave, they will review it. A lot of people seen this and they were like, can Tekken do this, right? Can Tekken, because there was one of the biggest boosters on the planet who got timed out for like 1 week. We know there's other cheaters who get timed out for like 2 weeks. Like, come on, bro. Like, what's up with that? Like, and then the guy immediately after being unbanned go right back to boosting. Like, you could give someone a 1 week to start off, but when they go right back to boosting and you reset their rank and then they go right back to chasing that rank again, you gotta clap them up after that. You know, they need to be more strict with longer bans, and then also increase the penalty for quitting. When someone plug, you should start off with whatever they have it set to right now. You should lose that amount. If they plug again, at that point, take a whole rank away. Their whole rank, set them back one rank. And then also, this is something we've been begging for a very long time, is the remaining players get points compensation. If you stay in the match, you get points for doing so. Tekken needs to do that as well, right? You once again have examples of other games doing things that Tekken players are requesting, which shows that we're not asking for anything that's impossible. You guys remember this collaboration? Well, they released a extended trailer for it, and this is a mobile game collaboration, and I mean it's cool. You know, I think this trailer's awesome, right? It's a lot of personality here. It's a lot of expression here. It's just Tekken players want more out of a collaboration themselves. Like, this is cool though. This trailer's fire. I just want like the next collaboration that Tekken does where we get something, they go above and beyond, because it seems like all of the people they're collaborating with is going above and beyond. This trailer's fire for this mobile game. You had that Italia Yumia go above and beyond. You know, just so much great work being put into the other games, and Tekken players, you know, they're like, hey, me too, you know, what about us? But this is a cool trailer. He did his rage right there. Yeah, that's really cool. You can buy Tekken 8 right now for 16 bucks. This isn't a huge shocker because every time Evo happens, they always do a sale, right? Every time Evo happens, Combo Breaker happens, like anytime there's a major tournament, the game goes on sale. On Steam, it is 50% off. We could laugh and be like, lol, Tekken 8 sucks, haha, they're desperate for players. But really, like, thinking deeper than that, it's a really good idea what they're doing, right? With Evo, is being advertised to so many people. A lot of people will see either a clip posted to Twitter, they will see either a reveal, they will see either Armor King, they will see something about the game, and they'll be like, oh, that, like, I want to get in on it. How much is it? Oh, it's on sale? It just creates that, like, sense of urgency, that sense of FOMO, that sense of like, now's the time, right? And I don't think it's predatory. I just think it's a good strategy. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is coming to Switch 2 and Switch on November 14th. So it was leaked a while ago that Tekken 8 would come to Switch 2. And here we are months after, or weeks after the launch of Switch, and it's still not there yet. And I just wonder, like, what are they doing? The Tekken developers, right? Street Fighter basically launched with the title, and that gave them a huge boost in sales. So many games are being ported to Switch 2, and it's just a whole new demographic. And the fact that Tekken 8 isn't there yet is kind of crazy. You know, first off, once again, Tekken 8 is behind the trend, right? The trend of moving to Fortnite, the trend of doing, you know, Switch 2. They're just always behind. Why is that the case? Why weren't they prepared for the Switch 2 and ready to move their game there? Even if you have to, Marvel Token has been showing off some stuff, and this game looks amazing, bro. Because when you talk about 2D fighting games, there's a lot of like competition there, right? You know, so of course they have the Marvel IP, so this is going to give them a, you know, IP advantage. But if their game is not good, then it will fall to the wayside. I mean, there was Marvel games in the past that flopped or was reviewed poorly, right? So I hope that this game lives up to the hype because everything that they're showing is so good. And then this is the part that I seen on Twitter as well, where like, so we know it's a 4v4, but it doesn't start off that way. It starts off as a 2v2. And you know, when you grab someone, when you put them through the wall, when you do something special, that's when you gain access to your third character. And then, you know, when something else happens, that's when you gain access to your fourth character. Of course, we could draw comparisons to Tekken 8 and how Tekken 8 just gives you access to everything all the time. But this game, you kind of have to work towards, you know, other things. Like you have to lose in order to get access to, you know, one of your other characters. You have to do something cool to gain access to your other character. The fact that this game could do this means that the Tekken players pushing for heat to be something that's earned. It's a good concept. And I understand that the developers want you to have access to heat at the start, but what if you use heat and then you have to gain it back? You know, if you break a balcony, a wall, if you do a tailspin, if you do a guard break, then that gains heat, you know? Like, that would be Invincible versus. This game is showing off a lot. What I will highlight about this is, you see how there's different play styles, zoner, range, and all this stuff? Tekken 8 doesn't have that. Tekken 8 is literally just rush down, every character's rush down mix up. You know, of course I love Invincible. I think the show's going to end up being one of the greatest shows of all time if it continues to, you know, path it's on. And, you know, to get a fighting game based off of that, we're lucky, we're honored, right? But at the same time, we want them to put that same, like, we want to be just as blown away from the game that we are from the show. And right now, I'm not really feeling that way, right? Marvel Rivals announced they will record all in-game voice chats in an effort to catch more toxic behavior. YouTube, Spotify, and Wikipedia are now requiring ID for you to exist on their platform. Your digital footprint is now being monitored by police officials, and they're using AI to keep track of it all. Welcome to 2025. I don't know what's wrong with these platforms and why they are doing this. They're saying like, oh, we want to protect children and we want to cut down on toxicity, but really it's just an overreach of everything. What about your privacy? What about, you know, not being monitored by, you know, whatever government every second of the day? Like, it's just kind of crazy. They did say like they will use AI to see who's children and who's not children, and if they think you're a children, you're gonna have to use an ID. Someone said blame UK. I don't know what UK is doing, but if they are truly to blame for all of this, those guys are idiots, because I don't know. Basically what they're doing is having an impact on the whole world, and that's crazy. You guys know I'm a big fan of Rivals. They showed off some new Blade gameplay, and I don't know, like, the game itself is not moving in the right direction. The matchmaking's terrible. Like, I'm not really, I don't know, I'm slowly fading away from Rivals, and especially once like Battlefield 6 and some of these other games come out, it's like Tekken 8 gets better, Armor King drop, I'm probably not going to play this game anymore. I've been having a lot of fun playing Strange, but other than that, like, I don't know, bro, it's just not it anymore. It's fading. I think the developers are doing a very good job of killing this game. It's been far too long for this type of Battlefield. Yeah, this is the legit Battlefield, not trying to make the map really big and, oh, this is the biggest map ever. I hate that. I'm happy that gamers realize that the biggest maps ever, the best graphics ever, doesn't mean the game's going to be good. I mean, you know, Fallout, 4 times the graphics, 4 times the quality or whatever, and the game was terrible, right? Same thing with Battlefield 2042, right? But see, the fact that this game went the way that it did, it should give you hope for Tekken 8. We have Street Fighter, which is an example. We have Call of Duty. We have multiple games where they have a certain type of success, a certain type of formula. First, you see the arrogant. Battlefield 4, one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. Followed up by, was it Battlefield Hardline? Battlefield 1, an amazing game. Those 3 games following up, you know, quick succession, made them arrogant, made them cocky. And then we got Battlefield 5, which was terrible. From Battlefield 5, they continued with their cocky, arrogant behaviors, and they produced Battlefield 2042, where a lot of the identity of the series was gone. You know, they were going in this totally new direction that no one asked for, and the game was a total failure. And then after that failure, they were forced to go back to what made the game good, what made people love the franchise, and then here we are looking at Battlefield 6. So that story can be said for Street Fighter with Street Fighter 4, 5, and 6, right? And we hope that a similar things happen with Tekken 7, which was a huge success, made them kind of cocky. Leading into Tekken 8, you have a lot of loss of identity, you have a lot of arrogance, you have a lot of just cockiness, and then through failure, the developers were humbled, and now it seems that they are trying to return the franchise back to what it should be. But we're still in that low point, so we don't really know if they will come out the other side, respecting the legacy of Tekken once more. Because that's what this Battlefield is doing, right? This Battlefield 6 is like a callback to what made Battlefield great, right? And that's what we want Tekken 8 Season 3 to be. That's what we want Tekken 9 to be. That's what we want Tekken to be. A lot of these game studios reach success, they feel untouchable, they get humbled.